What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Red and Gold Standard Podcast. My name is Zach Hernandez, and as always, I am joined by my co-hosts, Matt Llewellyn and Mike Andrews of Nothing But Niners. We got a great show planned for you guys tonight. Apologies on being a little late. You know how we are here. Technical difficulties, the whole 9 yards. You guys get it, but we appreciate you guys for rocking with us. Nonetheless, we're going to be recapping the Raiders game. I know it's old news at this point, so we won't delve too much into it. Previewing the last preseason game of the year versus the Chargers, and breaking down some breaking news that just happened a couple hours ago. Before I toss it over to my guys, if you're watching on X, make sure you hit like and repost the post. Follow us. All of our handles are on the screen. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit like and subscribe to both Nothing But Niners and 49ers Hive YouTube channels. We really appreciate the support. Now that I got that out of the way, Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Zach. Interesting little game. Some fun things happen, some weird things happen. So I'm sure we'll get right into it. But I think we've seen all we're going to see out of the starters. So I don't know. I don't know what the Chargers game is going to hold, except for narratives about old 49ers coaches and quarterbacks. So we'll get there. But It's good to be here with you guys tonight.
I think we know exactly what it's going to hold. Mike, how you doing?
I am doing great, and I want to thank everybody in the chat right now for hanging tight and sticking with us, guys. Listen, good things come to those who wait, and I promise you today's episode is going to have a lot of fireworks, so make sure you guys stay for the whole thing. If you happen to miss any of it, go back on the rewatch because it's going to be really, really good. I promise you guys that.
That's right. That's right. All right. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Like both Matt and Mike said, 49ers won a thriller, a nail biter, a preseason heart stopper. I don't know what other adjectives to put on this. A close one, 22-19 in Las Vegas, in a game where Jake Moody went 5 for 6 with his one miss being from 53, and the game winner being from 59. This was a bit shocking, I think, to all of us. Mike, what was your biggest takeaway? What was your takeaway with Jake Moody, I should say, from Saturday's game?
I am so glad you threw it to me first. Jake Moody is kicker one, kick-offer one. I don't know if that's a real position, but for all of you guys that were out there messaging me, I saw the X account when he missed the 53-yard. Oh, he's trash. You got to cut him. You got to cut him. My simple question was, who was the last kicker that was on our team that went 100%? Don't worry, you can't find one. No one that played more than 8 games went 100%. So if a person's going to miss a 53-yarder, and by the way, the game winner that he made would have been a career long had it been regular season. That tells me that the new approach, the shorter approach, I should say, his swing and all that stuff, it all works. I even saw people complaining that his ball does a lot of movement in the air. Who cares as long as it's going in? Like all of a sudden, the 49er fan base feels that they are kicker experts, and the truth of the matter is, just shut up and enjoy the points. Like that's where I stood with it. I thought it was a phenomenal ending to the game. The turnover, we're going to get to it, the turnover that led up to the opportunity. I was happy that the offense couldn't move the ball because I wanted Jake Moody to have some pressure on him because there's no overtime in the NFL. I was hoping that it was actually a little bit longer. Like, let's see if he could do a 62-yarder. I haven't seen what the kick would have been good from because they don't do the next-gen stats in the preseason, but I wanted to see what that was because it looked like
it would have been good from like 64.
Yeah, like he had some extra room on it. So and I'm not saying that this is the new Jake Moody, that's who he is, but there's a reason that the team was comfortable letting go of Greg Joseph and keeping this kid, and it's not just the kickoffs. This kid has actually got some moxie in there. We just got to make sure we encourage it and continue to bring it out.
Okay. Matt, does this restore your faith in him? Does it give you a little more faith going forward?
No.
How do you feel?
It's easy come, easy go. I got to see consistency. You know what I mean? Like, it's great, right? He had a good game. I'm happy for him. The one that he missed, 53. But let's not pretend like he didn't almost shank a 26-yarder. Like, real close. That would have been maybe been good for him 26 and a half. And that would have been about it. So I think there's still kinks to work out. You can't just change your delivery in one off season. And how often have we seen, people who try to change the way that they do things and only to have some of the same problems rear their ugly head. I like the fact that he was able to hit a game winner. That's good. It'll build confidence, but I want to see it in games that count before I just say, oh, he's the guy. Now, I think I'm with Mike. He's kicker 1 right now, and I think he's secured his job to at least start the season. But again, he started out real hot last year too, and then fell off a cliff. A lot of that people will say is from the ankle sprain that he had. I don't know, but I need to see more. I can't just say after one. It's too many things, right? I can't sit here and go like, oh, this wide receiver is not, don't everybody get up in arms over this wide receiver like we did with Jalen Hurd or Trent Sherfield or whatever else, and then say, well, let's do the same thing with Jake Moody. When who was blocking for him, who was rushing to block the kicks, those things are going to change. The situations are going to change. And while it was a pressure spot, it's not the same pressure that you would have in the regular season. So I need to see it. I need to see consistently, because anybody can have one good game. And that's all we've seen out of him so far is one good game, because he didn't really kick last week. So again, give me more than one good game and then start to stack good games on top of good games. And then I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna look up. It's October. It's like, oh shit, Jake Moody has like maybe one miss or something. He's like 10 of 11 on field goals or whatever, perfect on extra points. Then I'll be like, oh, okay, maybe he's turned a corner. But it's to me, it's just too early to say. I'm not saying that he's the same Jake Moody. I'm not saying that he's completely better or like instilling a ton of confidence in him like Mike. I need more data before I make that determination.
Yeah, I mean, Matt, you brought up the 26-yarder that he was like that close to missing. He did make it. At the end of the day, it goes down as a make, right? But that was nerve-wracking, and it looked like he was in his head, especially after that 53-yard miss. I was just cracking up. It couldn't have been a more hilarious situation. They get the interception. There's no Raider around Mahoney within 5 to 10 yards, and he's at like the 40. He's pretty far out there. And Chase Lucas comes up and goes, no, get down. Like, there's still a solid 15, 20 seconds left, but he's get down. So then he gets down, and then the offense has 2 plays and a timeout. And they can't even get a single yard. Not a single yard. So Jake Moody was like, all right, dude, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it from here, because the defense didn't want to get you another yard. The offense had 2 plays, couldn't get you another yard. But he did it, and it was, pretty much straight down the middle with five yards to spare, I'd say. There was a good comment here in the chat. Lael, his ass was Tampa. He was asked in Tampa and hit the game winner. Almost missed that one too. But he was 5 for 6 with the miss being from 53. I would take that. I have more of a problem with attempting 6 field goals in the preseason. I would like to see them go for it a little more when it doesn't really matter. Hopefully they can convert these red zone trips.
But wait, but to that end, who does that benefit though? Like, my only pushback is, who does that benefit? Because it's like the second and third string motherfuckers who are never going to play. So like, if it was the first team, like maybe, yeah, go for it. Like, who cares? It's a practice situation. But like, going for it when those people aren't going to play, when you want to see if Jake Moody can kick, like, I think it actually benefits Jake Moody, who's actually going to be a part of the team, rather than fucking Carter Bradley or whatever, and Isaac Hodgins or whoever the fuck it is.
I mean, fair.
That's my only pushback on that.
There are receivers that were pushing. I mean, we had a trade, maybe not anymore. Maybe these guys are all shit out of luck, or excuse me. We're at 10 minutes. I think that's a good point. Maybe if we weren't trying to evaluate a kicker, you wouldn't want to see 6 field goal attempts. Because to be fair, my ass sat here a week ago and said, he didn't even kick a field goal. He kicked 1 extra point attempt, and now I'm sitting here. So it is a little hypocritical of me. I'll own that. But go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, so, all right, it's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't, right? So we're like, oh, these games don't count. So that means that it doesn't matter what he does in preseason. However, if he went out there and was 1 of 6, we'd be saying get rid of him. But no one would be saying, well, we got to see what he does in real games. So it's not fair. Like,
I didn't say that it didn't count. I didn't say that it didn't count. I said I need to see more than just 1 game's worth of kicks for me to be like, he's different. So I think that's a fair thing to go with.
In my final preview to the game, like right before kickoff, I said that because it was a joint practice, I don't expect to see much from the Niners offense, maybe 1 or 2 touchdown drives, but I expect to see a lot more field goal attempts because Kyle got out of the joint practice what he needs to see from the team, right? And so I wanted to see more field goals. My stat prediction was 4 of 5 for Jake Moody. And had it not been for that very last attempt, that's exactly what he would have ended at. Instead, he ended at 5 of 6. But it's like he can't kick any regular season kicks in preseason. So I don't think that we should diminish anything that happened out there. Those were real game situations, right? Like it was as close to real as it could possibly get in preseason. I don't get why people are still like, oh, let's pump the brakes, let's pump the brakes. He's got to take advantage of whatever opportunity is presented to him. And to me, he did that. And I'm not mad at it. Now, I don't remember the exact game, but I do remember Robbie Gould's last season. He did kick a game winner, and one of them, he kicked it. It looked like it was just going to go far right, and the ball hooked all the way back to the left. I don't remember what game it was, but all of us were like, he missed it. Oh, wait, it's going in. And when they interviewed him at the very end of the game, he was like, yeah, I had to give you guys something to watch for. Like, I had to keep you guys entertained a little bit, right? It's like, we didn't hold that against him because he made it. Like, I'm just not going to hold he almost missed a 26. He made it. So who cares? Like, if the kick was from 40 yards, I don't think he would have kicked it the same way. So he did what he had to do in the short kicking distance. You know what I'm saying? Like, not all kicks are created equal. Like, sometimes you got to drive it a little bit further and all that. So I wasn't mad about any of the kicks that he attempted in that game.
Listen, I'm not going to hold his feet to the fire too much about the 53-yarder that he missed, but the 26-yarder, that does matter, man. Like, that's like right there.
It's close to an extra point.
It's closer than an extra point. Yeah, absolutely. It's almost as close as the old extra point. And it's like, that one, you kind of got to be like, why are you aiming so far to the left there, brother? Like, I know you're on the right hash, but you don't got to aim that far left,
Well,
and by the way, wind is not a factor because you're indoors. So what are we doing, man?
Dominic Pooney was a protector on the right side of the line. He got rolled up on the first attempt, and then he was out for the rest of the game. So maybe he was thinking the pressure's going to come from the right. I got to get this inside the left to make it work. Like, let's get around where the extra pressure is going to be coming.
But doesn't that just prove the point that, like, we can't just call him a different Moody if that's his mindset? That is a gross overthink right there.
But he
did when you're a kicker, come on, Mike, you know this. Like, you bowl, right? When you're bowling, and there's a guy 2 lanes down from you. Do you give a fuck what he's doing on his lane? No, you're focused on your shit. Just like a kicker would be. A kicker is like, where do I need to strike this ball? Where's my setup? How many seconds does it take for me to get to the ball or whatever? What's the snap count? Whatever else. I need to make sure that I hit the ball here, and this is where I'm aiming. And that's all he's thinking about. He shouldn't be like, well, one guy got injured, so maybe they're going to rush from that. Like, it's an all-out rush. So it's 26 yards, man. Like, it's just funny that the 26-yarder was so squirrely, but the 59-yarder was almost like dead down the center. So, I don't know.
Well, so
weird.
To your own point, and we had a little pre-pod conversation about how we overanalyze things individually, for whether it's golf or bowling, right? Maybe he overanalyzed, saying the right side of the line is the weakness. I got to kick it to the left is what my point was.
That just goes to show for me that Moody is still the same head case that he was last year, where he missed a kick, gets in his head, and he's like, oh, shit. I missed. And then it's an overcorrect, right? He would push it right, and then it would overcorrect to be all the way to the left, and he would shank it left. And you knew that he was just in his head. So this new approach, Moody, that's fine. He takes the 2 steps, but this is what I was talking about, that I need to see consistency before I'm like, oh, this is a different dude. Because you can change your approach, but if the mindset is still the same, you're going to end up with very similar results. And that's what I worry about, is that he's going to start overthinking off of a miss and then be like, oh, shit.
Right. And I'll give you this, right? I think that you sometimes you still have to be a thinker. If the right side of your line is diminished, you shouldn't be kicking the ball. If you know your ball's going to curve to the left, you shouldn't kick the ball out to the right, because that's the weak side of the line. Those guys are going to be closer with their hands up, and it's possible that it could be tipped or whatever.
See, but for me, that would be valid from like 40 yards and back. when you got to drive the ball, man, it's 26, man. You just pop that shit right up over the top. Like you can get loft on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just kick it high. The 59-yarder, he had to drive that. So that's going to be down. Like that's going to be down. The trajectory is going to be lower. That's when guys can get their hands on the ball. But at 26, like that's a chip shot, man. Just right up over the top. Yeah.
Matt, you brought up, real quick, you brought up before he got injured last year, I think he was 16 for 17 and then proceeded to miss 9 kicks out of the final, I don't know, however many were 20 kicks or something like that. He missed a good amount. It was a high percentage after that ankle injury. People were chalking it up to that injury. People were chalking it up to Wisnowski changing how he held. Now you got Thomas Morstead in there. He changed his kicking approach. We'll see. I was encouraged to see him bounce back. I was encouraged, obviously, to see him make a 59-yarder. A lot of people forget he made a Super Bowl record 63-yard field goal, only for 10 minutes later, Harrison Butker to go make a 64-yard or whatever it was, and top the record. But he's clearly got talent, and I would hate for the 49ers to cut bait and then some special teams coach find whatever little fuck up was wrong in his brain, tweak it and fix it. And now he's like the next, who was the Justin Tucker minus all the diddler shit, now he's great. So I don't know. We don't have to spend too much time. We've spent 18 minutes on this. Mike, final thoughts?
I'm done with the Jake Moody thing. I saw a comment in there from Chrissy. She said that she couldn't get the link to work. So Chrissy, what we did that was a little bit different was the link was posted like right at the time of kickoff. So if you were there early, it didn't show. But people were in there. We had, a very nice sized crowd in there. So stick with us. It is working. We just got to have a little bit more patience at the time of kickoff. That's all. We make the post available, but the link isn't always there right away. Sometimes you just got to refresh it right when the game starts.
So, Mike, since you're on the big screen, what else stuck out to you in a positive way, the 49ers on Saturday? Offense or defense?
Well, I'll start with the offensive side of the ball because I came in and gave this young man a lot of crap and said that he should be off the team. And that was, believe it or not, the quarterback, Bradley. I thought that he looked way more decisive. He was delivering the ball in stride to players. Like everything that I had held against him following the Broncos game, he came in and was like, all right, Mike, I heard you. This is what I got for you. And he did look better. Now, was he like a world beater and should he be like the backup and all that? No, I'm not going to say that at all. But, I did feel better about Bradley being on the roster following this game against the Raiders than I did against the game from the Broncos.
Agreed. We were, up in arms, or at least I was, that they cut Mordecai over him. I'm like, what the hell? He looked really good. He looked in command of the offense. He drove the 49ers down to tie the game at the end. He was impressive. Matt, I'm going to steal the next one, which I think was pretty obvious. Ricky Pearsall looked elite. He looked like a true number one receiver. Him and Brock Purdy are on the same page. I would say about 99% of the same page because they were on the wrong page in that final throw where he missed him in the end zone. Looked like Brock thought he was going to go the other way. It is what it is. It's fine. He looked great. They converted a 3rd and 18. They got like 23 yards on that play. Really, really impressive. And it kind of just backs up the reports that we're hearing in practice that he looks good. He looks like a bona fide wide receiver 1 with all of the uncertainty going on for the 49ers at that position. Extremely pleased to see him have the first drive that he did before he was taken out. Matt, what stood out to you on offense?
Yeah, I mean, I'm at the other half of that pairing, Brock Purdy. Like, it was clear to me that Brock Purdy's like, I know that it shouldn't be a question, but it typically seems to be with all the usual suspects that, oh, is this guy going to make Brock Purdy like sweat? Is it going to be a competition for him? And it's not. Like, he was out there crispy as all hell, looking like Brock Purdy, and it was just like, all right. Like the 7 passes that he threw, the one drive, that was enough. Like, let's get him out of here. It doesn't even matter anymore. Like, just bye. See ya. We'll see you week 1. Ready to go. Looked like he was pretty on time. Again, that miscommunication. It's funny because the 2 incompletions were his last 2 throws. One was like, people say, I look at it two ways, right? 57 of the Raiders was kind of in the passing lane, so Brock Purdy like went a little bit further ahead, and it hit Demarcus Robinson in the hands, and it's like, maybe he should catch that. But also he put like mustard on that thing too, which like actually was good to see, right? We always wonder about Brock Purdy's arm strength or whatever it is, but the fact that he could throw a dart like that on a slant route, like, good for him, man. Like that's good stuff. So still looks mobile, still looks quick, still looks like he's making good decisions. So not worried about it there. And if he has a new guy that he really trusts in Ricky Pearsall, like it seems like he does, and both those guys stay healthy, I mean, damn, dude, Pearsall could have a breakout like we saw from Ayuk in 23. So could be interesting to see.
Yeah. Which, by the way, that pass still hit Demarcus Robinson in both hands. I know people wanted to put that on Purdy. Still hit him in both hands. Still hit him in stride. Was it a little up and away? Maybe.
To me, I feel like in shorts, that catch is made. But in pads, right, like trying to get your arms fully extended really quickly with the shoulder pad right there, you kind of inhibit it just enough that it's just like shit off the hands. So that was a touchdown. If he catches that, he's in for 6. But overall, not bad for the ideas. And then, the miscommunication, that is what it is. That happens all the time in the NFL. So not too worried about that. But 5 of 7, 66 yards, very quick work. They marched right down the field on the Raiders, where it's just like, are we worried about this offense? Like, dude, they got nobody. And that was the Raiders starting defense. Max Crosby was out there. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, boom, right down the field. No Trent Williams, no Christian McCaffrey or whatever. No problem. We got it.
It was nice.
So, yeah.
It was nice. Mike, we had talked about Russell Gage and all of the reports we were hearing from him out of practice. He's a true vet. He's showing the kids how it's done. That didn't really translate onto the field. Instead, Robbie Chosen balled out, 5 catches for 92 yards or something like that. 5 for 92 with the long of 30. Were you surprised to see A, Chosen, and B, Gage? Like the one produced and the other one didn't really at all? Before you answer, Gage had 3 for 25.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I want to start with some party horns from my guy, Robbie Chosen. Jersey, stand up. So got to play some horns for anybody from Jersey. And it's just, it's funny watching him. I did feel a sense of comfort. Like, if we have to go into the season and he's one of our top 4 wide receivers to start the season, I do feel comfortable with him in there. He seemed to be in the right place at the right time. He actually showed a little bit more speed than what I thought he would have at, 34 years old or something like that, 32, 34. I don't know exactly how old he is, right? So I did feel good about that. And I like seeing it throughout the game, right? It wasn't just with Brock Purdy. Like, he worked and matriculated down the field with the backup quarterbacks as well. So that was something that was very, very good to see. And I'm still waiting to see the Russell Gage game. Like he was there. He had some receptions, but it wasn't what everyone was talking about. It looked like more of what Chosen was doing out there instead of Gage. So, but it's a good sign. If one guy is really good in practice and the other guy is good on game day, like, we have a nice mix when you add in Pearsall, especially when you're considering, the latest news of, Cowling not being able to come back, and we still have this lingering injury with Juwan Jennings. Like, that top 3 for the Niners should be okay. You got some veterans in there. You got some youth sprinkled in. Like, that makes me feel a lot more comfortable with what we're seeing. Hopefully these guys can block, though. That's what I have to go back and look for to see how well they are blocking their blocking assignments.
Yeah, I was thoroughly impressed with Robbie Chosen. He looked crisp. He looked like he knew the offense. I mean, he looked like he was playing within the offense. It was really nice to see. And I agree with you, Mike. If push comes to shove and he was one of the 4 or 5 receivers that makes the team, I would be okay with him being on the bottom end. I mean, we don't really see that much production aside from, for some reason, I'm forgetting his name, Ronnie Bell. Kyle Shanahan loved using him as his 5th receiver when he decided to take a shit on the team. But anyway, we got a super chat here from Gray Fox 198, $20. Does anybody know when the wide receiver open tryouts are on to be the next Vince Papale? I think we got some breaking news that might shut this dream down. Unfortunately, Gray Fox. We'll get into that in a bit. Thank you very much for your contributions, by the way. How about defense, guys? Matt, what stood out to you in a positive way on defense for the 49ers?
Yeah, man, just like every single week, I don't know what it is, but like my eye goes straight to Chase Lucas, who just looks really good, man. And there was a fun press conference that Diamador Lenore did where it was just like, oh, wait, this is the same guy that I like shit talked. I don't even like this guy, coach. Like, why'd we sign this dude? I don't even like him. And then he's like, I got to know him. And it's like, now we're like best friends. So, it's good to see that you can bring somebody in and they make an impact like that. And I listen, I was not familiar with Chase Lucas' game. So now I am, and it looks good. And I can't be mad at that. He's made an impact. He had the interception, obviously. And it's, man, it's nice because I know that for us, it's like after you got past Renardo Green and Diamador Lenore, it's like, all right, well, we hope Upton Stout is really good. But after that, like, who do we got? Like, shit, there's nobody there. And so if you got a guy like Lucas who can step up like that and be, cornerback 4 for all intents and purposes, which in 2025 NFL, you need 4. Like, you need 4 that can go out there and ball. I like the promise of that. So I thought he had a really good game again.
By the way, the story that Diamador Lenore told about kind of squashing his beef with Chase Lucas. He's like, like you said, Matt, I'm eyeing him. I'm like, damn, why'd you sign this guy? This guy's, I'm not cool with him. And then a couple of days, they're eyeing each other in meetings, and then they're finally out in the field and they're walking by each other. They kind of side eye and they tap gloves, and that was it. And no disrespect to women, but that is a strictly man only scenario. You will never see a woman squash beef with another woman by walking by, no words saying, and just tapping gloves, and suddenly you're boys.
I've seen it. Listen, I've seen it in bars where 2 dudes will be talking shit to each other, get into a fist fight, and then like laugh it out over a beer after the fact.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Good hit.
I don't know. It's just it's weird stuff, right? Like us, we'll give each other shit, right? But we really care. Whereas girls will just be like nice to each other and then shit talk them the minute they're gone. It's so crazy.
Mike, what stood out to you positively on defense?
Yeah, I like the Lucas story. Siegel is impressing me. And then, well, I don't want to take anything from anybody else, but our linebackers are actually doing a lot better than what I thought they were going to be doing. And it seems like the longer the game goes, the better they get. So I'm even getting a lot of confidence in the backup guys. So this is showing I'm going to keep attributing this to the Robert Saleh effect, right? Like I like the comment that Matt said, I wasn't really familiar with Lucas's game, right? And the truth is no one was, because this guy was like a special teamer, right? Mm-hmm. Like he wasn't even like all of that as a starter for the Lions, right? Like this is new to him, and he's getting to play faster and freer. And they're riding the hot hand. You heard him talk about like, oh, we're going to call you for a blitz this time because you're doing so good back there. So let's go ahead and keep using you. Oh, and I made the play. He was like, well, this week it wasn't the same way. Like they didn't call the blitz for me, but they put me in the protection, and I was still able to make plays out there. So I mean, this is a guy that is taking advantage of every opportunity given to him in preseason. So you got to just hope that it continues and carries over to the regular season when it's time for us to call his number.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I think he was a 7th round pick with the Lions. Like, if he hits, that's another 7th round hit for the 49ers, even though they technically didn't draft him, but they found him in free agency. Mike, I'm glad you touched on the linebackers, because that was mine. Nick Martin, talk about a night and day difference. And it didn't really click to me. I saw some article. He hadn't played football in like a year and a half. That was against the Broncos was his first action.
Yeah, he missed a lot of time last year with a knee injury.
Right. So that was his first action back, and everyone was, already calling him a bust. Everybody was saying he looks horrible. Give the guy at least a one preseason game to get back up to speed. And Saturday versus the Raiders, he looked completely different. He said, he looked like a heat-seeking missile in Antarctica with no heat to lock onto. Well, he found his heat. I mean, he was on target Saturday. He had a couple misses, but I like that his misses are over pursuing and he's there too fast that the running back or the receiver can cut and get away, as opposed to too slow or a bad angle. He's there. The problem is he's there too quickly. So I'll take that 9 times out of 10 because that's a coaching issue. That's something that you can teach. And I was really impressed with Nick Martin. I think he's going to be a great linebacker for the 49ers. Just give him some time. Let him keep developing. Robert Saleh will do his thing. The 49ers are known to draft and develop linebackers, so I'm going to defer to them in this scenario, just like we did with Warner and Greenlaw and Aziz. So I think they're going to be just fine with Martin, Warner, and Winters.
Yeah. Just to clarify, September 28th of 2024 was Nick Martin's last game before the Denver game.
Okay, so about almost a year.
Yeah, so he got hurt against Kansas State and then didn't play.
It's still really impressive. It's still really impressive
and
to come back.
By the way, missed a lot of time in camp because back in June he broke his thumb during in the weight room as well. I know people forget about that. Like he broke his thumb. So, I agree about the linebackers. And let me just say something. And I don't know if there's any Raiders fans in here. Y'all better go get your boy Aston Jeanty and tell him he ain't playing in the Mountain West anymore. He can't be taking on people like that. Like Tatum Bethune cracked his ass. And when he got up, it was the one where he got up and like he was holding his arm down to the side. And I was like, damn, did they like break this kid already?
He immediately went to the blue tent.
Damn. Yep. Immediately went to the blue tent. Yeah, it was Tatum Bethune. And it's just like, hey, man, like you can't run to contact like that and expect to last. Like this is the NFL, man. He's not even that big a guy. He's like 5'9".
Yeah, but he's built like a bowling ball. Was that the same play where the linebacker like came over? It almost looked like he decapitated
that was another
from
one.
behind. That was Winters that did that
was
one,
Winters,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was getting it from the linebacker.
So
we'll give him this though. He gave the business to our secondary guys though. Not the linebackers, but the corners and the safeties. I mean, he popped the shit out of Lenoir, bro. Like it looked like it was going to be a great hit from Lenoir until Lenoir was on his back and he kept going. And it was like, oh damn! Like
that's just a physics thing. Lenoir's 80% on the ground already. Yeah. It's like that one
low man wins.
Right when we played the Chiefs last year, and Mahomes trucked Mustafa. I mean, you're coming downhill. You got all the momentum. Somebody's standing there already lower. Of course, you're gonna truck him. So it was a highlight play. Raiders fans went wild with it. The NFL went wild with it. Go for it. I don't care. It's all physics. Makes sense.
Yeah, I listen. I get it, and like, yeah, he did lay the wood to Deommodore Lenoir, but again, he got cracked by the linebackers, and more often than not, they're not going to get a free shot. Running backs aren't getting free shots at cornerbacks. They have to go head up with linebackers, and if you're doing that, like our linebackers aren't even the most physically imposing. You try that shit against somebody like Roquan Smith, like you're in trouble, dude. Like you're gonna get popped over and over and over again.
It's gonna like end this kid's career, yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like look at the linebackers in Kansas City. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the linebackers, with Denver. Like,
yeah,
bro, he tries to go head up with like Nick Bonito like that. No, don't do that. So they need to come. And by the way, when he took that screen pass it was like a third down play, and he took like a pass, and it was a check down, and it was like, I don't know, all the wide receivers were running like what looked like verticals. He was wide open when he caught the ball. Nobody within like 10 to 12 yards of him and got tackled. Mm-hmm. He ran right to the contact. It's like, how did you not get a first down there?
Right.
Yeah, Siegel made the came up and made the tackle.
Great.
And it's just like, how do you not get a first down on that play? Like there's no excuse. There's nobody around you. It's like you're supposed to be like the hot shot draft pick guy. It's like you couldn't get there? Come on, man. Yeah. So I don't know. But anyway, I thought that the linebackers played well. And again, for the second straight week, I think that team speed was very evident out there. I thought the 49ers defense played with a lot of speed, which is good to see, because last year it seemed like they were slow to everything. And they're wrapping up this year. I've already seen a difference in the fundamentals of football, and they're tackling again, which is love it.
I got to address this real quick, this comment in the chat from a Chargers fan. Reason Harbaugh didn't win the Super Bowl is because he was coaching the Niners. How sad. He'll redeem himself with the Bolts. maybe you guys can finish higher than third this year in your own division. Maybe.
No, they can't. They can't.
can't.
Listen, dude. Listen, my wife, as a former San Diego Chargers fan, stopped being a fan of theirs when they left San Diego. Will tell you the Chargers are cursed. They're the Browns with better looking uniforms. They really are. It's like they had a chance to beat the Patriots, and Phillip Rivers has a torn ACL in that game. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the weird stuff like that. So I don't know, man. Like, again, Ray Rice's signature play, other than him abusing somebody, the 4th and 27 catch. You know what I mean?
Right. You finally make
I
the
don't know.
playoffs with Justin Herbert. Well, second
Yep.
time, and he throws his season's
4
worth
picks.
of interceptions in one game.
He only had like 4 or 5 picks on the year,
Right,
and then
right.
matched it in the playoff game. It's just like
cursed.
Okay.
Cursed.
And it's odd because the Chargers they've always been that way, right? Like
Yep.
they've always had one of the best rosters from top to bottom, and just can't do anything with it. Like they remind me of every team that was coached by Fisher. What's his first name?
Jim.
Is it Jim Fisher?
No. Jeff.
Jeff
Fisher.
Yeah.
Of the Titans, yeah.
8-8 teams.
Bro, 8-8 all the
That's some
freaking time.
7-9 bullshit right there, buddy.
That's just what the Chargers are year in and year out, no matter how good they look, man. I mean, good wide receiving cores, constantly have good tight ends, good quarterbacks, like top 5 ranked quarterbacks every single year, and they just don't do shit with
there
it.
was
Good running
a
backs.
year. There was a year they had the number 1 defense and the number 1 offense and missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Oh, the Chargers?
Yeah.
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 The
just
number
what
1
they
offense,
do,
number
man.
1 defense didn't make the playoffs.
Listen, they couldn't win a Super Bowl, and they had Phillip Rivers and Drew Brees on the same team at the same time.
And Antonio Gates.
And Antonio Gates
And
and
LaDainian Tomlinson.
prime
And
LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Like,
And Sean
come on,
Merriman.
man.
I mean,
Yep.
it's just
They were a who's who.
insane. Okay. How about, did you guys want to do like one thing that left us wanting to see more? One thing
Yes.
that maybe we weren't as impressed
Well,
with? One negative?
yes.
Go ahead. man.
Yes. Yeah, I'm out on Jair Brown. That dude sucks. Like,
That was
I get
tough.
it. I get it. And yeah, listen, I get that Brock Bowers is bigger than you because everybody talking about the Moss catch or whatever. But that motherfucker like fell down trying to jump. Like, it wasn't Brock Bowers. Like, he couldn't even get off the ground. If you go back and watch that shit in slow motion, it's like his leg was just like, "No, I'm good." You know what I mean? Like, if you go up and contest that properly, I get it. But he wasn't even in position to make that play, which is, again, you let Bowers get behind you. He's slow. He's not athletic. He's not fundamentally sound. He is a relic of the post-Saleh, post-D'Amico Ryans 49ers defenses.
I saw a play from Brown where he didn't make the play, but when they snapped the ball, the linebacker was confused immediately because you could see the rushers coming in and crossing, right? And he's dropping back, and he yells at the linebacker and points while he's going to his responsibility. Like, I'm not covering that tight end. I'm going deep. Like, he pointed out, and the tight end didn't. The target was to the tight end, and the linebacker ended up breaking up the play. But you could see it that the linebacker was completely lost if it weren't for Jair Brown's pointing and communicating. I'm not saying he's going to make the team or be a starter because of the communication, but that, unfortunately, was his shining play in that entire preseason game. And if that's all you got to offer, bro,
He's got a bright future as a DB coach then.
Yeah, like it was pretty bad. And you guys know how I feel about my Jersey guys. But
but you've been real about Brown since day one. That you're just like, I just don't know if I see it with him. And we were very optimistic about it. So that's
even
the
when
point
we
for
drafted
you.
him, I was a little like, he seems to be a thumper.
You definitely
when he's only
were
playing downhill. So, but I mean, I don't like judging people off of just 2 seasons in the NFL because we've seen guys turn it around, and we're gonna get to well, you know what? No, I do want to say this really quick while we're on the defense before we move on with Chase Lucas in particular. I made a comparison earlier today, and I like my comparison, so I'm going to say it here now. I think Chase Lucas is the
Deion
defense's
Sanders
version. Oh God. I can't believe you just said that. Like, what?
Excuse me, bitch.
I think that he is the defense's version of Raheem Mostert. Like, you were just a guy that was used on special teams. You could never really find your niche on the starting side of the ball, whether it was offense for Mostert, it was defense for Chase, right? Like, you couldn't really get in there and do what people wanted to see you doing. And then he gets to the Niners, and all of a sudden Raheem Mostert's like a household name, and he's got trade value, and he's got a free agent market, and he hasn't been without a job since then. Like, people covet his talent because of what they saw with him with the 49ers. I think that could be Chase Lucas. That's the last thing I have on the defense or even on the Raiders game, except for this. I do have a question for you guys for the Raiders.
What was the negative?
It's going to be my negative.
Oh, okay.
Did you guys see the injury to Mac Jones? Like, what the hell happened to him, and when did it happen?
It looked almost non-contact. I don't know. It was on a pass. I'm trying to remember if it was even completed, but it was like a contested pass out to his left, and it was a third down. I think it was incomplete. Walked off.
Like, I didn't know he was injured until afterwards. Then I was like, oh, it's not a big deal. But then the Niners signed Nate Sudfeld today, and I'm like, oh, shit. Like, maybe it is a bigger deal than what I thought it was.
I think they signed him because he's not going to play. So they need a second quarterback for Saturday's
Jones.
game.
Yeah, so the word on the street is it's a sprain. It's a knee sprain, so he'll probably miss like a week or two. So he's not going to play, so they need some – and Brock Purdy's not going to play, which means you would just have Carter Bradley playing the whole game, and so they need like a backup. So that's why Nate Sudfeld got signed, because he's familiar with the offense, and they don't really have to get him up to speed. But Sudfeld's going to get cut after the game. Just like Carter Bradley's going to get cut as long as Mac Jones is healthy.
I have the video. Do you want to see it, Mike?
Yeah, I want to see if I could see where it happened.
Okay.
All right. So he drops. Yeah,
there was contact after the pass was thrown.
Was there? Oh, I didn't even see him holding his knee.
I remember him kind of
he
like
runs off
limping
just fine.
If you watch when he throws, the blitzer right up the middle jumps.
Oh, yeah.
And Mac Jones turns, and there was probably contact there. Maybe even 99. I don't think 99 would have got a piece of him because they would have flagged that.
Well, no, and then he held his left knee, which is towards the other guy, not 99. 99 was behind him, so it would have been a right knee. That's so
well, but if you watch Mac Jones at the last second, he turns his body to the left, presenting that left knee to 99. Look, see, you could see 1 and 0 clearly on his back because he's turning away from the contact from the jumping blitzer.
99 gets pushed outside, which it looks like.
Right. If he gets pushed into him by the lineman, then does it become like almost like a high-low type of thing where like, you know what I mean? Where he gets crunched between the two guys. I'd have to see like the all 22 of it just to see what happened. But clearly it happened right away, but it's not anything season ending. So he'll probably be back.
Okay. Yeah, that was my negative. And obviously we have a ton of injuries, right? Like it's pretty bad. The injuries are the reason.
It's a laundry list, man.
13 games to maybe 8. Like I have completely changed my prediction for the season. I just don't see attrition being in our favor this year. Like we are just dropping like flies, and we literally can't get through preseason. It's very concerning.
The one thing that I will say is that, knock on wood, and I don't want to jinx anything, obviously, but it's not like a Rashawn Slater injury or something of that ilk, where it's or like for the Dolphins, who are, bringing in Asante Samuel Jr. because it's just like they had like 3 DBs start like that would have played for them with season-ending injuries. So far, nothing has really been season-ending. It's been like the typical like high ankle sprain shit. You know what I mean? So I just wonder if just the sheer number of injuries kind of regresses to the mean as the regular season rolls around, and if they'll actually have a more healthy regular season because they've had so many injuries early. You would think that maybe the universe works like that, but it doesn't always. I'm kind of with you though. Like the thing that stands out to me is not just the injuries, but it's the overall lack of depth. Like this team is super top heavy still.
Yeah. But I don't know what you mean by not season ending. Like we settled 2 injury settlements with players.
Yeah, but those
We've had
those
weren't.
motherfuckers.
season-ending
Those
IR.
no, but it's
They
no
weren't going to
no
make the roster anyway.
no. And they're injury settlements. They're not out for the year. They weren't season-ending injuries. They placed them on injured reserve, which is 2 different things. It's not like guys are like tearing their ACLs or like fucking break. Like who's the guy
We
that
did put someone on
broke his
season-ending
neck?
IR.
Patrick Taylor, but
Yeah, but that was a dislocated shoulder. That's like a 4-week.
he had
injury.
to have surgery on it.
That's like a 6-week injury then.
But didn't
They
we
said
put someone on
season-ending.
IR?
Today
Yeah,
they said it was
Patrick
season-ending
Taylor.
for him. But
Oh no,
he
so
was.
if they announced that today, he's not the person I'm talking about. There was someone else that we put on season-ending IR.
What I'm saying is though, it was nobody important.
Yeah. If you can't even remember who it is, I mean.
Right. Again, right? Does it even count?
Right.
Well, because there's been such a brash of injuries that I can't keep up with it. That's the only reason I can't remember who it is.
Again, by and large, it's all little shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's all minor, like the fucking high ankle sprain. It's always, it's the high ankle sprain. It's the calf strain. It's the fucking hamstring pull. It's all the like. What was Cowings today? A soft tissue lower body injury. Which like, what the fuck does that even mean? That's so nondescript. Like, what do he do? Like, pull his groin? Like, you don't want to say like he fucking hit his dick on something? I don't know.
I mean,
But
if we're looking back in late October and the Niners are above 500, nobody's going to be like, but damn, all those high ankle sprains or damn, all those soft tissue. It's not going to matter. You're not even going to remember them. You remember the serious ones, and that's
or you just go like, oh, like particularly the running backs, right? It's just like, oh shit, they have no running backs. Well, Garendo's already back at practice. James will be back by like week 1. So then all of a sudden, okay, you're fine there. Okay, what about the wide receivers?
I know.
Okay, well, you're gonna get Brandon Ayuk back in week 5. You're gonna get Robinson back. Robinson's weird. I think they're gonna appeal the suspension. It'll probably be less than 2 games. He'll probably start serving it at like week 3.
It was Andre Dillard. That's the guy that that was
right
really
after we just talked about him.
Yeah.
But they activated him on PUP and then put him immediately on IR. So that wasn't even like, did he even fucking practice? He had like 1 practice, and that, you know what I mean?
Maybe.
I don't even think he made it to practice.
I don't think he even made it to the practice field. So to me, that's like not even an injury that we accrued. I don't even think it's like, I don't even know if it's a real injury. Maybe he just didn't respond the way that they needed him to or whatever. But so that's where I'm like, okay, in terms of serious injuries, like there was a player again that like broke his neck and is out for the season. That Rashawn Slater tore his patellar tendon and he's out for the season. And that's like a 50-50 if you even make it back at all, just after signing a deal. The Dolphins had like 3 or 4 season ending injuries. So I just think that with the 49ers injuries, it's all little ticky-tack shit. And yeah, I guess Patrick Taylor, if that was the injury today, that's like the first one. But I think that's like future-proofing. I don't know. Or if he had a labrum tear or something, you might have to do that. But yeah, like who else is on here? Again, Diamondor Lenore is going to play week 1.
Can we just like point out though how many? Oh, of course, this is a stupid ad.
Yeah,
how many
sorry,
of these are questionable for week 1 at Seattle?
1.
Yeah.
They're all, even Dominic Pooney, who got injured Saturday, is questionable for week 1 at Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's, it's great that none of these are really serious or long term.
An injury that would hold you out of a preseason game is not necessarily an injury that would hold you out of a regular season game. And we all know that too. So again, and by the way, this is questionable. What do we got? 17 days before the season starts.
Right.
So
yeah, it's just a long list, and every day we're signing someone else. I mean, today we even traded for someone. It's like, dude, like how desperate could we possibly get here?
I think a lot of these people wouldn't have made the roster anyway.
yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, Mike.
No. You're absolutely fine. Like we can keep it moving.
Last thing. Shit. Oh, my negative. the running game looked like ass. And then when it finally got going, Corey Kiner has his ankle snapped on with, a hip drop tackle that's not called. That was really unfortunate. Like, Corey Kiner finally got it going and then has to get carted off because some dumbass Raider decided to boom right on his ankle. That was unfortunate. So the running backs were dropping like flies. But okay.
And Kiner was released today, by the way.
Right, they
waived
waived his ass. They waived his ass. So
yep.
Maybe he wasn't going to make the roster. I thought he was borderline. I would have kept him over Patrick Taylor Jr.
For sure. But you know what happens when my man comes back, man? Jeff Wilson Jr. We didn't talk about him.
That's right.
Let's go, baby, man. My man is back in the building. Where's my applause at, man? Damn it. Let's make some noise for Jeff Wilson Jr. being back in here. Huh? Let's go, baby.
JWJ RB1.
Maybe RB3.
RB1. Let's go, baby.
But that's a really good 1, 2, and 3. If you can have him in here with Christian McCaffrey and Isaac Orindo, man, all three of them can catch the ball. All three of them got some burst and athleticism. I like it, man.
And he's a good pass blocker too.
My man just said Jordan James who?
Yeah, gone. I haven't even seen him. Does he play for the Niners?
Right.
Oh
right.
my god.
Where is he? Honestly, is he even on this list? He's got to be on this list somewhere because I haven't seen him all year.
Yeah, he was injured in the joint practice against the Denver Broncos, broke his finger, and had to get surgery.
Yeah,
questionable
for week 1.
Yep.
Okay,
it's just a lot of it. That's all.
Oh yeah.
On to this Chargers game. Final. Was there anything else about the Raiders?
I still think that they're a shell of their former hardcore selves. They are such a corporate team. Every time I see them, it's just, if you put on their Raiders brought to you by Wawa or whatever, I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Right. They gentrified him.
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly I should say about special teams, but I still think that I am seeing the effects of Brant Boyer here. I know we talk about the swarming mentality with the defense and Robert Saleh and the improved tackling and things of that nature. This special teams unit, I have so much more confidence with them now. Like, even the plays that the Raiders returned the ball for a decent return, it's like, man, but there was somebody right there. Like, I never felt like they were going to bust a big one against the Niners. And so, yeah, super balls, right? But, like, I don't know. I feel different about this. I feel as different about the special teams unit as I do about the defense. And that is light years ahead of where we were last year, especially this time last year. So I really like it.
Before we get into the Chargers preview, let's break the news. The 49ers traded for wide receiver Skyy Moore from the Kansas City Chiefs. They got a 7th round pick. This wording is confusing from Rap Sheet. And a swap of future 6th and 7th round pick. I think the Chiefs sent a 7th round pick along with Skyy Moore in exchange for the 49ers 6th round pick. Chat, correct me. Okay. What do you guys think of this? Does this move the needle at all? We had been hearing that John Lynch was calling phyping up teams.
I apologize. I think that, yes, I'm sorry. You said it right.
Okay. Skyy Moore in a 7th for the 49ers 6th.
Yes.
There was a receiver that was traded. John Mechie from Houston. He went to Philly. And the reports from George Schultz were that the 49ers were also in on it, but Philly was not willing to offer more. So the 49ers for the last week or so have been trying to acquire a wide receiver. I'm sure with all the injuries, the uncertainty, they just needed someone here. And now they got that someone in Skyy Moore. Mike,
as confirmed by Diana Rossini, the Niners are shopping wide receiver. Shout out to her for that wonderful breaking news. Here's my take, man. I like the potential of Skyy Moore as a prospect coming out a couple of years ago. And if I had to compare him to a player that people may be familiar with in the NFL, not a Niner. I do have a Niners comp for him, and it's going to be like just Jacob Cowing. But we haven't seen Jacob Cowing do much of anything, right? My ceiling comp for him, it's a really big ceiling, but it's Mike Wallace from when he was with the Steelers.
Oh, shit.
Size, speed, what they do well. I see a lot of that in him. Questionable hands at times. I hate this picture that they're showing here. I don't think that he caught this pass, right? But like questionable hands at times. But man, when he's on, this guy is all the way on. And so I think that's a very fair pro comp for him. I haven't seen or heard that anywhere, but we're talking a difference of a couple of inches, a couple of pounds, and a couple of hundredths or of a second as far as like 40 time and everything. I think that's a really, really good comp for him, Mike Wallace, with the Steelers. And again, it's all about system because I don't even know if Mike Wallace played outside of the Steelers, like in the NFL. I don't know where his career ended.
Yeah, he went to Miami. He had a few good years in Miami.
Oh, okay. All right. There you go. So cool. There you go.
Matt, does this move the needle at all for you?
Man, it tells me that Bergen's spot on the roster might be a little more precarious as well because he got injured as well, didn't he? I think Bergen got injured. I'm not sure though. But I mean, listen, Moore is a guy that returned a kick in the Super Bowl for a touchdown. So, he just had an 88-yard punt return against the Seahawks last week. It's a guy that brings juice and could potentially be used as a returner, which the 49ers obviously need. So in that aspect, it does. As a wide receiver, it really doesn't. He projects to me, again, more as a return guy. And you're essentially, I mean, a sixth for a seventh, a pick swap. You're basically getting him for free. It's the last year of his rookie deal. I think he counts $1.5 million against the cap. He's cheap. So hey, whatever you need to do. They need bodies for sure. Yeah. So hopefully by week 1, they won't need him as much. Maybe Jordan Watkins will be back and others. So
more than bodies, the potential, right? Like I think this is a phenomenal replacement for a guy like Jacob Cowan.
I
right?
don't think he has any potential, to be honest. It's his 4th year in the league, and he has like 400 yards receiving for his entire career. Like year 4 in, right? I don't know, man. That's a tough ask.
Yeah, but Andy Reid's this is going to sound like I'm caping for him, right? Like there's only been one successful wide receiver in the Andy Reid system, right? Wide receiver, not pass catcher. There's only been one. Like since he's been there with Patrick Mahomes, it's only been Tyreek Hill. Like everybody else is like, have you guys ever played Madden and like use the Chiefs or use Andy Reid as a coach? Because I did a franchise mode and I took on Andy Reid with the Niners and used his playbook. All of the play calls are like 7 yards deep, and then they're all comebacks. Like this guy's not going to thrive in a system like that. But he could absolutely thrive here.
I mean,
with slants and outs and things like that because
I would say that Rashee Rice is probably a guy that's going to be successful. Like he was really good his rookie year, and then Patrick Mahomes took a fucking header into his knee last year. So,
but he's the only guy that they use downfield, and that's kind of what my point is, right? Like they're looking for the Tyreek Hill replacement, which is the downfield presence. They didn't use this kid this way. They only use one receiver at a time in that way, and Rice got those calls. It was Tyreek Hill, and then it was Rice. Like, who else can you think of off the top? And I'm open to being wrong because I don't watch the Chiefs as closely as others do. But, like, can you think of any other downfield threat for the Chiefs, not named Rice or Hill?
But, I mean, is this offense really a downfield offense? Like, you need him to run a full route tree.
Yes. No. In comparison to the rest of the league, Brock Purdy's average depth of target is significantly deeper than Patrick Mahomes'.
But it's always over the middle on like in-cutting routes. It's almost always between the numbers. That's not what this kid does well. He's a fly route and go guy. Like Skyy Moore, that's who he is.
So you think he's more of a Danny Gray type of receiver?
He's a boundary receiver, yeah. And like to me, here's the thing. To me, at some point you got to stop being like, oh, Indianapolis just did this, right? They were like, we've seen 2.5 years of Anthony Richardson. That's enough. He doesn't have it. At some point, you got to look at a dude and be like, he doesn't have it. Like, it's just not there. He was a 2nd-round pick, and to have in 4 seasons, you're averaging 100 receiving yards per year. Like, you're not it, bro. Now, again, they can use him in special teams where he has shown himself to have an aptitude for returning the ball because he does have blazing speed. He's very fast. So you find your niche, right? Nobody was ever going to confuse Devin Hester as being like this great wide receiver. but he was an amazing kick returner. That's just how it goes sometimes. And you got to find your spot. You got to find now. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm calling it right now. This kid's going to take a crosser to the house for 80-plus yards with Bradley making the delivery, and people are going to be like, oh, we got to keep him. We got to keep him. 49er fans are going to lose their minds because we haven't seen that happen in how long?
By the way, as an update to our points, that's the only one we have left. Is a fringe roster for the points. It is a fringe roster player will make a splash and become a media darling unwarranted. So I'm just waiting for that.
Well, I think he makes the roster. I think Skyy Moore makes it. And I think he is their top kick returner. Immediately top kick returner. Better than Bergen. Better than Debo's fat ass was last year. I think that this is a guy that can come in and
I still can't believe they had him
last
returning kicks.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
So I'm excited with this. He does have that speed. And Mike, you mentioned Jacob Cowing, who hasn't been able to really sniff the field. He just returned from injury about an hour ago, and he just got hurt 5 minutes ago. So he's already hurt again. This gives you a second one. You just got two of them now. So if Jacob Cowing can never sniff the field, that's fine. We got Skyy Moore now. At least one of them can take the top off of the defense. All right. Next breaking news item before we get on to the Chargers preview is DeMarcus Robinson's suspension came in today. And per Kyle Shanahan on KNBR radio, Robinson was suspended 3 games for violating the league's personal conduct policy due to a DUI that he was charged with right at the beginning of the offseason. Shanahan was asked if he can appeal. He said, yes, you can always appeal it. So we'll hope for the best on that. But that's what we're planning for. I didn't get the audio on this. I couldn't tell if that was Shanahan saying we're expecting 3 games and we'll appeal it when it comes down, or if they actually did issue 3 games. I saw people reporting it as fact, but I don't know if it actually is.
I didn't hear about this today, but Shanahan said this at a presser a couple of days ago that Robinson was planning to appeal the 3-game suspension. And the way he worded it at the presser was, if it comes down as a 3-game suspension, we're going to appeal it. So he said it already. And what that tells me is that the team has heard something that the media hasn't, that it's going to be a 3-game suspension, and they already have the appeal in place. I don't know what happened on KNBR. I don't know if this was just KNBR reporting on what Kyle Shanahan said at the presser.
No, he was an interview. It was an interview with him. He does the weekly interviews.
So he probably said the same exact thing. They probably asked me about Robinson, and he just reworded the quote that he said at the presser. But people ignored it at the presser because they were so focused on other things going on. But when I did the presser breakdown of Shanahan, I highlighted that maybe he knows something that the rest of the league doesn't know about DeMarcus Robinson, and they plan on appealing it already. So this just confirms what I said at the presser breakdown.
By the way, talk about positives. I thought he was a great positive on Saturday. Robinson looks good. He's a good receiver, and I think the 49ers are going to be much better with him. Hopefully they can appeal it down to 2 games. Hopefully he doesn't have to miss the start of the season. Maybe he can serve that suspension after Ayuk returns. Who knows? Rashee Rice is like playing patty cake with the NFL, and they can decide it whenever it works best for the Chiefs, even though he like fucking killed a guy or something. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I don't know exactly what Rashee Rice did. I'm just assuming the worst. Matt, any take on this?
Aren't they trying to give Rashee Rice like 10 games?
The NFL initially proposed it, but the NFLPA
I think they've moved it to 8 now is what they're trying to go for.
Right.
But like people are out there like conspiracy, the Chiefs getting away with it again, man, like blah blah blah. And it's like, I don't know, man. They're trying to throw the book at this kid.
It's not about the games that he's facing. It's about the process. And based off of what I was seeing, the conspiracy theorists say the process is that he wouldn't have to start serving the suspension until week 5 or later. And if you look at according to the conspiracy theorists, if you look at the Chiefs' toughest stretch of games, it's those first 4 of their whole schedule. And so it's like, oh, the Chiefs dodged another bullet. Like the favoritism is going crazy. And so that's what they're upset about. It's like Demarcus Robinson is about to be suspended for something he did last year on another team, which, by the way, he had more than 3 games left to play. Why not suspend him then when he did it, right? Like, so the Niner fans in particular feel like we're getting the shaft, like we're paying for another team's crimes on our roster in a new season, and then this guy did it with the Chiefs last year or in the offseason, and they're going to get to use him, their best receiver, through their toughest stretch of games. And so that's why people are all up in arms.
There was another receiver, I'm trying to remember who had a similar situation to Rashee Rice, like literally the same time, and his suspension just came down.
Was that the Raiders kid? No.
Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison was suspended the first 3 games
yes.
related to DUI. So it was like literally the same time frame. And I get, the NFL trying to slap him with 10 games. The NFL, I've never heard of the NFLPA fighting a suspension and saying, no, that's too much. We got to reduce this, to the point where it's now like in litigation and they're going to argue the case over it. So just some shit that would only happen with the Chiefs.
They got Addison. I know it's like DUI related, but I don't know if it's necessarily, was it alcohol? Because he
just says DUI.
But he was suspended for a violation of the substance abuse policy.
Same with Robinson.
Okay. So it's not necessarily about.
Well, Robinson was personal conduct policy.
Yeah. So there's some uneven. Yeah. And I guess Addison plead down to a lesser charge too, and the NFL still gave him 3 games.
So he was found disabled vehicle blocking a lane, found asleep in the driver's seat.
He was asleep.
Rolls-Royce.
Which listen, kids, if you're a multi-million-dollar player and you want to go out and drink and stuff like that, hire a driver.
Yeah. He plead down to wet reckless, which is a plea bargain in which the person is charged with DUI, accepts a lesser
disagree with that,
charge.
Mike?
The wet indicates that drugs or alcohol were involved.
No, it's not that I disagree with it, so I don't want it to sound like that. But I've been out before and had drinks, and I felt fine. Like I paced myself. I stop at least an hour before I get outside, right? But there's something about when you walk outside, when you finally stand up from a bar, from a seated table, and you hit fresh air, I don't know, there has to be some sort of chemical reaction with the introduction of fresh air. I don't know what it is, but I've felt fine leaving, and I've literally pulled over into a gas station and slept it off. I actually did it, I think, on air one time, in an overreaction show. Not proud of it, not my proudest moment. And then I found out later that if a cop had have came up, even though I was behind the wheel with the car turned off, I could have still gotten hit with a DUI. I did not know that. But they say that this kid pulled over, right? He didn't. He was
blocking a lane.
He was in. Yeah,
he wasn't pulled over.
But here's the thing, though. And Mike, no shade to you because we love you and everything like that. You know what I mean? But you're not an NFL player.
True.
So when the stakes are higher and your livelihood is on the line,
and not to mention endless supply of income.
I mean, listen, league minimum is $840,000. There's no reason that you shouldn't be able to hire a driver if you're going to go out at all. So that's my thing. It's just why even take the risk? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if I have one or whatever, or fucking, Uber's available. I know that gets sketchy because if somebody recognizes you, it's a weird, awkward ride. But yeah, again, this is why private drivers exist. I think you gotta do something like that.
All right. We got through the breaking news. Corey Kiner waived. The 49ers traded for Skyy Moore. Demarcus Robinson's suspension apparently came in at 3 games. The 49ers will appeal. Let's get into this final preseason game versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Matt, what is one thing you are keeping an eye on? You mentioned earlier the starters aren't going to play due to injury risk. What's something maybe someone you're keeping a close eye on Saturday?
I want to see. Listen, is D Winters going to be able to make it through the game without Nick Martin seriously closing the gap. So, again, I think he has a substantial head start, and I don't want to wish bad things on anybody, but there's been a freaky, again, training camp, preseason games, whatever, with injuries and things like that. And D Winters has unfortunately been snake bit a couple of times. Is this finally the season that he gets to start the season on the roster, active, playing in meaningful games? I'd love to see that for him because I think he has a lot of potential, just like I think Martin has a lot of potential. But I do think that the tenor of the linebacker room changes if Nick Martin is forced to be like linebacker 2 right off the bat. I think he would do well in more of spot snaps to spell a guy, if D Winters comes out for a certain play or gets gassed up. Because we know Fred's never coming off the field if he has a choice. He's just not going to do it. So who's going to be able to be that complement to Fred? And I think if you're relying on, again, how many rookies, right? Looks like Siegel's going to start, right? Michael Williams is going to be back at probably for week 1. You're looking at CJ West. Is he going to start? Are you really Upton Stout looks like he's going to start? Are you really looking at starting 5? That's half the defense going to be rookies. That's a big ask. So it's important for a veteran like D Winters to really solidify his hold on that second linebacker position and get through this game unscathed.
Good one. Good take. Mike, same question for you. What are you going to be, who or what are you going to be keeping a close eye on Saturday?
Yeah, Matt Hennessy or Drake Nugent. Somebody please take this job from Jake Brendel. Please, I am begging somebody to, I don't want to see Jake Brendel out there if we don't have to. And so I haven't been disappointed with the backup offensive lines, particularly the centers, in these games. Now, where I try to remember is all right, Mike, yeah, they're playing decent, but they're going up against backups, right? But the Niners offensive lines have been playing against the team's depth a level ahead of them for the duration of these preseason games, right? So, yeah, they were our backups, but they were getting some reps against the starters of the opposing teams, both against Denver and against the Raiders. And so I think that bodes well for guys like Matt Hennessy and Drake Nugent. And not trying to be funny at all, I think Nugent might have outplayed Hennessy in the last game. I don't have the PFF to back up what I'm saying. I'm just going off of my eye test, and whatever that means to you guys out there, you can take it with a grain of salt, right? I pumped up Mike McGlinchey, so what the fuck do I know about offensive line play? But I don't like what I see from Jake Brendel, and if one of these guys could unseat him, I would absolutely love it. So I will be watching number 61 and 66 out there heavily in this last game.
Okay. For me, it's got to be the receivers still. It's got to be. I mean, you just traded for Skyy Moore. You got Jacob Cowing, probably not going to play because he got this lingering hamstring injury. Who is going to stand out? Is it going to be Robbie Chosen? If he has another 5 for 92 game, is that enough to solidify his spot on the roster? Is Russell Gage finally going to turn those positive practices that we keep hearing about into production on the field on Saturday? Is Skyy Moore going to take a kickback? Is he going to do something in the return game that will solidify him a roster spot away from just being a pure receiver? These are the things I'm most intrigued with seeing, especially since Carter Bradley looked competent Saturday. I guess you would also, can throw in Sudfeld, who just got signed and is going to come in and play some snaps. Does Bradley start and Sudfeld finish? Or, because Bradley's been here, that's going to be an interesting dynamic to watch. But this is going to be a good one. This is, people say this is the worst preseason game. Dudes are fighting for their jobs. Dudes are fighting for their lives. Unfortunately, I don't know how many, I was going to say thousands, probably not thousands. Hundreds of players will probably play their last snap in the NFL this weekend, ever. So keep that in mind when, we call these guys scrubs, call these guys bums, joking around, but there is some seriousness here, unfortunately, a lot of dreams are ending this weekend. So wish everybody the best of luck. Anything else you guys want to touch on this Chargers game? Obviously, the Trey Lance aspect. Go ahead, Mike.
Is Junior Bergen a wide receiver, like officially?
Yes.
Does he take snaps as a wide receiver in games?
I don't
I'm
know
not
if
trying to
he
be funny at all.
has.
I don't know if he's
I
taking
don't think
any
he
snaps as a
does.
wide receiver
I haven't
They
seen
drafted
any.
him specifically to be a returner,
to be the return guy. Okay.
and that's how he was going to either make or not make this team.
That would absolutely terrify me if I'm him and Skyy Moore has entered the building. That would
Yeah.
terrify me. So maybe he needs to show something as a depth wide receiver, even. You know what I mean? Like someone who could maybe take the place of a guy like a Juwan Jennings, right? Like I don't know. But I also am anxious to see whether or not Isaac Garendo is back in this game. I don't know what his injury is. I don't know how long it's supposed to be lasting. He was not on that long list of injuries that we showed people pending for week 1 in Seattle. His name wasn't even on there. So what's the deal with Garendo? Is he going to be back in time for this game? Like, what can we see him a little bit in preseason? Like, that would be something I'd be excited to see because we know that Corey Kiner's gone, Patrick Taylor's gone, Amir Abdullah's gone. Who's left at the running back position, right? I mean, I'm looking at the depth chart here.
Keyshawn Vaughn and
That's it.
whoever,
And
Jeff Wilson Jr.
That's who we had to finish the game with.
Yeah.
So is Isaac Garendo healthy? Because if not, they should have signed another guy.
He
I'm thinking that
is
he might be
back at practice. Yes, he was
He's
back at
reportedly
practice.
healthy.
It was, it was weird because it was, man, I can't remember what it was. It was a defensive player made a play and everybody was like, "Oh, that's good to see," or whatever. And I'm like, "Wait, did we just skip over the fact that like Isaac Garendo's back at practice? Like, what the fuck?" So I put it in the group chat. Let's see if I can find it real quick.
Garendo and Renardo Green returned.
Maybe it was Renardo Green. Oh,
Well-
it was so. There was a beat reporter that put out saw Marcus Siegel running stride to stride with Isaac Garendo, who was hauling ass down the sideline today. And folks, I'm ready to liquidate all my assets to buy more stock of the 49ers rookie safety. And I'm just like, wait, Garendo's back? I didn't even know that. So yeah, he's back.
Yeah. All right, so that's solid. There you go. That's
And
good
Bergen did take practice snaps at the wide receiver spot.
Any interest in the Trey Lance, Jim Harbaugh aspect of this game returning to?
All I know
guys?
is that the beat reporter that asked the question, whoever that reporter was that asked Kyle the question, and Kyle had to be like, "Yeah, I'm not really trying to evaluate Trey." Like, that person is a fucking idiot. That's a
Right.
stupid question. Like,
Asked
what are you
him,
doing, man?
Did you learn anything from this situation, and would
Yeah.
you do anything differently or something like that? He's like, I learned everything from every situation. I take everything from every situation. I wish the best for Trey. He's a great kid. We'll always root for him. It was a stupid fucking question. It was a
Yeah,
stupid.
question.
He even said, "I love Trey Lance." Like he even said that. Like, but I have a little secret for you guys out there that are watching this game. Jim Harbaugh and Trey Lance aren't coming back to the Niners. Get the fuck over it. Like they went from bring Cap back to now it's like, oh, look at Trey Lance, he's doing like, guys, they're not coming back.
Yeah.
They're not. Like,
By the
we
way,
have to let it go.
I love this narrative that all of a sudden Jim Harbaugh can develop quarterbacks. Since fucking when? Who has he developed? Andrew Luck, largely a finished product in college by the time Jim Harbaugh even got him, right? Colin Kaepernick, outstanding until people got film on him, and he regressed every single season after that first season.
He regressed every season.
No one
talks
highly regarded out of Michigan until JJ McCarthy, and people even right now are just like, man, they didn't even really ask him to do anything there, right? Justin Herbert. People could argue that like he was not utilized nearly as much or as effectively as he had been before Jim Harbaugh got there. So where is this offensive development? He's still running that Greg Roman bullshit from 2011, 2012.
Well, Greg Roman's back with him. That's why.
Right? Yeah.
No, that's
He
what I'm
brought
saying.
Greg Roman over there. Yeah.
He like what? There's been no innovation, no change, no difference. What are we even talking about, man?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
what
the
are we
nostalgia,
talking about?
people.
Like, oh, yeah. Meanwhile, Kyle Shanahan has gone to the Super Bowl with Mr. Irrelevant, and Jimmy fucking Garoppolo, who all of us 49ers fans are chomping at the bit and hoping the Rams make the mistake of starting him. Because let's be real,
Right.
Matthew Stafford's back is not going to hold up all season. If he starts week 1, he's not going to play week 2 because the Texans' defensive line is going, as soon as he gets hit for real, like a herniated disc just doesn't magically heal itself. That's like with a 30, especially with a 37-year-old. Like Matthew Stafford's cooked, guys. I don't know if you guys need to hear it out loud. And if Matthew Stafford can't, he ran 26 plays in the team period. Oh, watch out.
That's basically a game.
Oh my God. Same thing, right?
Right.
He's wearing the same color jerseys as everybody else and he could get hit. Oh no.
Yeah.
Huh.
Good luck.
By the way, were those 11 on 11s? Were they 7 on 7s? Was he just throwing 1-on-1s to wide receivers working against corners? What were these
Shirts
26
and
plays? You know what I mean? So we're chomping at the bit. And Kyle Shanahan, on the back of 19 playoff passes, took the Niners to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, I mean, the truth of the matter is this. This is to Matt's point, right? Like, if you go career for career while they were here, Kyle Shanahan has done more for the 49ers than Jim Harbaugh has. Brock Purdy has done more for the 49ers than Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Colin Kaepernick combined. I'm sorry, but it's true. Like, it's not me making anything up. He has. And so we just got to let those kind of storylines go. It's cool to see old players going up against their former teams, right? And every week we've kind of gotten some of that, right? Last week it was Raheem Mostert, right? The week before that it was Talanoa Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw and didn't DJ Jones? Yeah, DJ Jones. Like we've seen it, and that all that's cool. But this week it's going to bring out a lot of hate. It's going to bring out some anti-49ers takes from 49er fans, and I just hate knowing that we're heading down that route here. So, and by the way, the Niners are going to lose this preseason game. Just let's be clear here. It's the third preseason game. This isn't something that we're doing. The Chargers and Jim Harbaugh, they take pride in running the ball well. Let's be stout on defense, right? Where the Niners are going to be like, let's just get out of here healthy. Like, they're still evaluating. They're still trying to develop guys. The Niners aren't trying to develop. The Niners are taking their old man roster, we're still like the seventh oldest team in the NFL or some shit like that. We're taking our old man roster and just getting it ready for the regular season. We are not trying to go out there and win these games. If the opportunity presents itself, cool. If it's a close game down the stretch, great, right? But look at what it took for us to even beat the Raiders, right? An untimely turnover with barely any time left and a career-long field goal. Well, if it was a regular season game, it would have been a career-long because he did boot the one in the Super Bowl, right? But, like, you get what I'm saying. Like, it took all the stars aligning the right way for us to even beat the Raiders. Like, we don't go out and try to win games. The Chargers are going to have players that look better than the 49ers players. The 49ers are going to have some players that look better than Charger players. But what's going to happen is those 49er fans that are pro Harbaugh, pro Trey Lance, they're going to put the spotlight on those players that look better. And there's not going to be much that we can do or say about it. It's going to be up to us content creators for the 49ers to put the kibosh to it. Like, all right, guys, like, great, you had your fun, now let it go. So just get ready, guys. Like, it's coming.
It's very silly that people do this, too. It's just like, listen, can we not just root for other people's success? Can we not just want Trey Lance to have himself a successful spot in the NFL where he can, hopefully learn and thrive and whatever? People lost their mind over the 2 deep passes. Like, look, he's so developed now. And it's just like, well, I mean, I guess, but now you're making me have to point out that other than the 2 passes, he was 5 of 13 for 53 yards or whatever it was. You know what I mean? Like,
they were all 5-yard passes. Yeah.
They were all except for those 2. And it's just like, man, look. You can be a 49ers fan and you could be sad that it didn't work out with Trey Lance. You could be sad that, Jed York kind of screwed the pooch with Harbaugh. Although I think that, again, Harbaugh and his style and his method works better in college because I think grown athletes get a little sick of it after a couple of years. The rah-rah, like, who's got it better than us shit only works for so long. But, like, you could be sad that he's gone. And you can also root for them to have success at their next stop. This is not a game that counts. So I don't know what all the hand-wringing is about. I don't know, man. It's just, those draft picks aren't coming back to the 49ers. Those, the potential and the feeling that we had, and that's not coming back. That's all gone. But you luck into other things. So
I can't wait to see the Niner fans going crazy when they see Harbaugh on the sideline beating the pads of Trey Lance. Like, oh, look, guys, look, don't you miss that? Like, bitch, no. Like, no,
Harbaugh has a relationship with Trey Lance that Kyle Shanahan never did.
Never had. Yeah, like,
Right.
oh God, I can just hear it already. Listen, I can promise you that those people have the drafts already saved. They have the drafts already saved. They're going to wait for Trey Lance to scramble outside the pocket. That's how you run Trey Lance, not up the middle and between the tackles. Like, they have all of these drafts saved already. Like, you can just go ahead and call it right now. And so, guys, just keep level heads about yourselves when you guys are watching the game, and hopefully you guys get to enjoy. Oh, by the way, man, I am super late. Happy birthday to my dad. Today is my dad's birthday.
Oh.
We were out bowling, and I will be celebrating it again on Saturday when we are doing the Patreon show at my dad's house. So I got my sister coming into town from Virginia. My brother's coming from South Jersey. We're going to be out there having a pool party, and I'm going to be covering the game because both things start at 4 p.m. Eastern. So that's where I'm going to be in the basement. I'll probably have a couple of cigars and some drinks. So you guys will get belligerent, drunk-ass Mike, and don't let us win. Don't let us win. I lost my voice in this last preseason game in the final 20 seconds. I was calm the whole game until my man, Jake Moody, booted the game winner, and I lost my shit. I completely lost it. My voice was gone. Anybody that's watching right now that was in that Patreon will tell you, man. Like, I was calm and cool the whole time. I'll put some fucking respect. I was going crazy. Like, you would have thought that we won the Super Bowl, man. Like, it was so good. Don't let us win this game, because the same thing is going to happen. I'm going to shit on Harbaugh on national TV. Well, on YouTube.
Happy birthday to your dad. My dad's watching.
Yeah.
He texts me as well. Happy birthday to your dad. By the way, last point, then we're wrapping up. Harbaugh didn't rebuild the 49ers like Kyle Shanahan did. Harbaugh inherited a roster that had like 10 top, 10 talents, first round picks that just really needed the right coaching. He had a quarterback. He had a running back. He had a receiver. He had an offensive line. Well, he built the offense, and I'll give him that. He had a defense. Like, all of the pieces were there. He just kind of tweaked a couple of things and brought some stability. Kyle Shanahan got here with Brian Hoyer, CJ Beathard. He turned this into something. So it's not really comparable, in my opinion, to try and compare both of their stints here as head coach.
Goes to show you how bad Mike Nolan and Mike Singletary were as coaches, that they couldn't get that roster over.
Bingo.
Yep.
I mean, he added Alden Smith and Paris Harrelson or some shit like that, and all of a sudden the Niners had like a top 10 pass rushing unit, right? Like Justin Smith was doing his thing, like, yeah. So but I will say this though. Oh damn, I just lost my thought. Oh.
While you think about it, didn't Harbaugh draft Upati and Davis?
Two first rounders and two offensive linemen in the first round. Yeah,
I think he drafted Upati and Davis. Mark
and
Staley,
Alex Boone, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Signed Jonathan Goodwin. That's true.
It's not going to come back to me. It's all right. It's fine.
All right, let's wrap up. It's already late here. I know it's late on your end, Mike. The folks already know. Please let them know where to find you for this last preseason game and premium content moving forward.
Yeah, guys, please head on over to patreon.com. We have multiple shows coming exclusively to you guys.
Upati Davis were drafted in 2010. Harbaugh came in 11. Whoops.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. I just said Alden Smith. That was the first round pick that year.
Oh.
It was Alden Smith. I
You're
did.
right.
I said that, too. Yeah. But he brought in Alex Boone though, for sure. Alex Boone was one of my favorite offensive linemen, man. I like that nasty.
The Rhino.
I miss that. Yeah, I really, really miss that guy, man. But yeah, guys, we have exclusive content going to you guys over there, patreon.com/NB9ERS. Please make sure you guys head on over there. A lot of people were complaining about the new prices for Sunday ticket. You don't got to worry about it. Come on over to patreon.com. And if you don't want to be a monthly subscriber, the games are for sale individually week by week. So you could pick your poison on how you want to do it. But I'm looking forward to seeing everybody over on the Patreon page, man. We have a lot of fun over there. So please make sure you get on over there. And for those of you who are watching right now, I see a lot of the little links showing in the comments that lets me know who is watching from the Nothing But Niners YouTube page. Head on over to the 49ers Hive, guys, as well. You see the name right underneath Matt down there at the bottom right corner of your screen, 49ers Hive. Head on over there and follow those guys here on YouTube as well. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Mike.
Yeah.
Matt, without further ado, do us the honor.
Yeah. Just a little PSA, Mike, for your Patreon people, and you can tell them this too. If you use ID.me and you're like a veteran, a first responder, law enforcement, medical worker, whatever, you can get Sunday ticket for the entire season for 50% off. So it's a decent price. So anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. We're almost through the preseason and getting to the games that count. But again, everything matters when you're talking about so many injuries. We're excited to see where this goes. We're excited to see how the preseason wraps up, kind of pontificate on who's going to make the 53. I think that'll be our, we'll recap the Chargers and then move on to what our 53 predictions are. So we're hoping you'll join us. For Zach, for Mike, for myself, thank you as always. We couldn't do this without you. And until next time, go Niners.